Apocalypse ruled through strength, survival, and evolution. Now his heir is back reborn as Revelation, with the power to command minds, reshape fate, and determined to finish what Apocalypse started. I'm Andrew the Geek Master, and in today's video, we're going over everything that happened in X-Men number 19, which marks the return of Heir of Apocalypse. To not miss stories like this one, hit that subscribe button, turn on the notification bell, and let's get started. For many centuries, Apocalypse believed that his methods were the only path for the mutant race, that he could become the great monster of mutant kind in the shadows, pushing the species forward through fear and strength. But after the end of the Krakoan era, Sabah Nur came to the conclusion that his methods of mutant evolution, in which mutants must clash until they reach the peak of mutanity, must be restarted immediately. And while Apocalypse continues his plans on planet Mars, Earth needs a representative worthy of the mission. Knowing this, he orchestrated a brutal tournament, designed to choose not only the strongest, but the most fit to carry on his legacy. During this process, an unlikely candidate rose above the rest. It was Doug Ramsey, who was reborn with the help of enhancement technologies and came to be known as Revelation. Now his mission is to lead Earth's mutants toward supremacy, raising them to their rightful place, command of the universe. In the present, in the Pacific Northwest, Doug Ramsey wakes up next to his consort, Bay, the mutant known as Blood Moon. Once again, he is tormented by nightmares about his rebirth, with Apocalypse's words echoing in his mind. Even so, he feels a certain relief upon noticing that his hair has started to grow back, restoring human features he thought he had lost. Along with Bay, he lives with his longtime companion from the New Mutants era, Warlock, a being of the techno-organic race known as the Technarchy, resembling circuits and machines. Unlike other traumatic transformations experienced by mutants like Angel or Wolverine, Doug retained his consciousness, his will, and even his sarcastic humor, something that, while it slightly irritates his wife, also keeps him grounded. That morning, over coffee, the trio discusses the mission ahead: to spread the message of the new Messiah and redefine the concept of survival of the fittest. Doug, now with enhanced linguistic abilities, not only understands any language but is also able to impose obedience on any mind that hears him. This devastating ability, a way to hack into brains, had been used by Charles Xavier for many years. Doug still remembers the warnings he gave the professor during the Krakoa era, insisting that the ends do not justify the means. He still believes they must be good, or they will be nothing. That's why he wants to act differently. It's true that Apocalypse said his first disciples were standing before him, but to Doug, Bay and Warlock are more than followers. They are his family, and it is with them that he intends to overcome Apocalypse's mistakes and offer a new vision of evolution and power. What once was domination over machines now transforms into domination over minds. And his ambition is clear: to hack the planet itself. However, just by expressing such ambition, he makes himself vulnerable, because without them realizing, a tactical group quietly approaches his residence. While they continue debating the implications of the plan, the special agents are already infiltrating. Warlock, analyzing his friend's ideals, notices similarities with technarchic principles: indoctrination, dogma, cultural reprogramming, and elimination of threats. Bay, deeply shaped by the culture of Arakko, understands that survival of the fittest is natural for her people, but not for the mutants of Earth. The integration between Technarchy and Earth's culture is highly complex, and the trio is about to confront that reality. At that moment, Warlock, now on alert, detects the invasion and immediately informs the group. Bay moves into action without hesitation, striking with lethal efficiency at what she does best: hunting. And indeed, while she eliminates each enemy in the stealth style that made her feared in Arakko, Doug and Warlock protect themselves, confident in the one who took the front line. Warlock's analysis indicates that the invaders are using military-grade weapons, but with no official identification. In other words, they don't belong to any known anti-mutant organizations like Orcus or the Sapien League. This is a black operation, a covert mission. In the middle of the confrontation, an electromagnetic grenade hits Warlock and disables his circuits, which means the invaders knew exactly who they were up against. Doug finds himself at gunpoint, and the agent identifies himself as a member of the National Emergency Office, something that sounds odd since their actions are clearly those of assassins. Bay immediately senses the danger and rushes to Doug's aid, but the heir of Apocalypse remains calm. It's true that he doesn't have offensive powers, doesn't shoot beams or control the weather, but his mind is one of the sharpest in mutant history. With composure, Doug turns the situation around as his eyes shift from blue to yellow. He commands the intruder to aim the weapon at his own head, and the man obeys, even against his will. The mutant makes it clear that the name Ramsey is in the past. Warlock calls him Doug, but even that no longer defines him. Now he is Revelation, and what he reveals must be obeyed. He goes on to say he has work to do, and no one will stop him. That is, he didn't even finish his sentence, and his enemy didn't have time to react before a sudden explosion reduced him to ashes, leaving only his right foot behind. It's true that Doug had already won, but the lethal strike came from Bay. Doug himself says there was no need to kill him, because he had everything under control, but Bay's reaction was purely driven by love. To her, any threat to the heir of Apocalypse deserves immediate death. Doug still tries to argue, but Bay demands that he understand that, in this position, no opponent can live after threatening him, human or mutant. Either way, the lecture ends with a passionate kiss, and the tense moment gives way to reconciliation. With that, Doug reboots Warlock, who finally regains consciousness, and the trio sets off, stating that if they're going to change the world, they're going to need a few X-Men. Yes, the mission is just beginning. The Age of Revelation has begun, and with it, a new and ambitious mutant saga. Marvel announced that the Age of Revelation will begin in October, and all signs point to it being connected to the actions of Heir of Apocalypse. If you don't want to miss any of the upcoming X-Men developments facing Apocalypse, his heir and their followers, subscribe to the channel and leave a like to help me keep bringing videos like this. Thank you so much for watching, and see you in the next adventure.